Good week for the Badger men's soccer program. We got a 2-0 win on Tuesday night against UW Milwaukee, which is always a good test, in-state rival, and then made our way out to Rutgers, and we're fortunate enough to beat a very good, well-coached Rutgers team 2-0. So 4 goals scored and 0 given up. Pretty good week by our guys.
Go ahead and take questions for Coach Trask.
Coach Trask, get a full week of training in before the game against Maryland this week, as opposed to sometime for the midweek games. What impact do you think that might have on your performance on the weekend?
At this point of the season, if you can get a couple more days of rest, the guys get pretty nicked up playing midweek and the weekend. We normally are playing every 3-4 days. There's also a fine balance between not kind of coming off the boil. We've been playing pretty well the last couple of weeks. So that's something as a coaching staff and hopefully the players are considering. We need to have a good, strong week of training, getting ready for this next match against Maryland on Sunday.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the challenges Maryland brings? Obviously, they're historically very good, and they look to be pretty good this year. What have you seen so far in your scouting and what getting ready for them?
Yeah, just starting to watch them a little bit. We pay attention to everybody in the Big Ten. Sasho, does a phenomenal job with the Maryland program. I think they're 7-1 at this point. Their only loss being to the #1 team, Georgetown. And everybody's rankings are top 5 team, which is what you expect from the top end of the Big Ten. I know he's got a lot of returning players, got a lot of quality, a lot of depth. We're expecting a very, very tough game on Sunday. And, it's someone that we've had some success against, but it's also, they're big, they're strong, they're disciplined. It will be a true test of our guys on Sunday at Pack the Mac.
Coach, just a few games into the Big Ten schedule, you've already come within 1 win of equaling your total of conference wins from last season. What this year has, what do you think has changed on the roster, and what has made this year, such a more successful start in conference play than last year was?
I've spoken about it before. Injuries are part of it. There's no question. We've brought in some new pieces, and there's no question that's part of it. We've gotten some maturing done with some of the other guys. And I think it started with the guys coming in laser focused at preseason. It didn't necessarily turn into all wins right off the bat, but we were playing. Our performance was very good. We've really not been outplayed at all this season yet. To whatever anyone else wants to say, we're playing Badger soccer and we're doing it pretty well. And, it's exciting. I think the guys' belief is always interesting in college sports or any sports team. I think the guys believe and they know they're a talented group, and now we'll see how far that can take them.
You mentioned bringing in some new pieces. One of the guys that's really gotten a lot of minutes that you didn't have last year was Kyle McCurley out of Wake Forest. What has he brought to the team, and what does he add in the midfield that perhaps you didn't have when he was taking his year of eligibility from Wake Forest last year?
Kyle's he's a graduate student, decided to come. He's best friends with Zach Klansnick. He's suburban kid from Chicago, had an excellent career at Wake Forest. I think he was looking for a new challenge in his 5th year with the extra COVID year. He's got aspirations to play pro soccer, and he really helped us even in the spring. Though he wasn't eligible, he was here. He was nurturing a lot of our young talent and every day bringing it in training. And now the opportunity for him to be with us and be with us on a road trip. And I actually made mention of that walking through the airport with him. I didn't realize Zach Klansnick's girlfriend was headed out to New Jersey, and she was in the seat right behind Kyle. And as I said, they're best friends. So she was poking at his hair and bumping the back of his seat. But it was just great to have him finally on a away game where, the minutes that he played and what he did for the team was exceptional.
All right, that's all I got. Anyone else have questions?
Coach, you're getting there's not really seem to be a star on the team. I know Inaki had a couple of goals against in the game against Milwaukee, but it seems like you're getting a goal from a different player every time. Is that kind of by design? Is there just, I guess, talk about how that's worked out so far?
Yeah, it's a pretty mature group. I don't think that we rely on one piece to score our goals. Andrew and Noah, Henry scored a phenomenal goal from midfield the other day. Jack has scored. He's got an assist. Andrew's getting assists. We're getting goals from our defenders on set pieces. That's an important part in a college season. Occasionally you'll have one main goal scorer that you rely on who gets hot. And I still feel, and I talk to the forwards about this all the time, when they break that seal, Andrew and Noah and these guys, they can get hot quickly in their roles on the team. And that's something we'll be working with this week. I'm hoping it comes out on Sunday, especially with the alumni. We're going to have the 1995 National Championship group back. We're also going to be acknowledging and honoring the 1981, which is 40 years, the first NCAA appearance team for men's soccer here. So we got a big contingent that are coming in for the Michigan football game and then our game against Maryland. And so I'm really hoping the guys put their best foot forward against Maryland and really show what they're capable of doing.
Looking back at the other end, I think it's 1 goal against in the last 5, maybe 2 in the last 7. Again, it's a team thing. I assume that's what you're talking about with Badger soccer. The goalkeepers have been putting up clean sheets. The defense hasn't given up much. Zach Klansnick is going to be the defensive player of the week in the Big Ten this week. Can you just talk about that end of the soccer as well for you guys?
Yeah, the back, call it 3, call it 5. We've got a lot of flexibility. We've started some different players there. I think it starts with our center back, Moritz, and our captain, Zach Klansnick. Great to see he's getting rewarded for his great play. Got 2 excellent goalkeepers. I've said it before. We feel very good about either goalkeeper we put in the nets. And we're playing some shutout ball. Rutgers is a very good attacking team. I felt we really shut down a lot of their good looks at goal. They were able to manufacture, but that's the game of soccer. And 2 shutouts in the week. And like you said, I think we've given up 1 goal in 5 games or 2 goals in 7 games. Those are all indicators that you're doing things properly all over the field. And it starts with our forwards being willing to pressure the other team and hopefully get them in situations they don't like. And then to work our defense and midfield, keeping the game compact and just principles of play. Guys got to buy into it. And, I made mention at the end of the Rutgers game, Ben Lees, who's been a starter for us for the last couple of years. We brought him off at halftime. He was off for most of the second half of the game. And we turned around and put him in for the last 10 minutes to kind of shut down a young man named Jackson Temple from Rutgers when he went back on the field, because he's a player that can make a difference. And we all know in a college soccer game, the last 10 minutes can get a little hairy at times. And Ben went back. He was one of the guys I talked about at the end of the game. It's not easy to be removed from a soccer game at halftime as a defender and then find yourself again in the game with 10 minutes left. And he went in and he did a great job. And I think that's what we've got. We've got a lot of guys that are bought in. It's nice to see. It's really exciting.